Okay, so welcome to our weekly JFire Diamond training session. My name's Angela Lucenti and I'm currently an Emerald Director here in Melbourne, Australia. So thanks to everyone who's taken the time to come on the call today. I know a lot of you are on your lunch breaks and some of you are just driving around with kids and having earphones in your ears. So I love that we can train this way remotely from anywhere you are in the world. So guys, today I'm going to train on a topic that I did during the power sessions last month and got a lot of feedback, really positive feedback from a lot of the people that attended those sessions. And I know that there were some parts of Australia that I didn't get to, so they didn't get to hear this. So I'm going to share what I consider my secret system. So it's top secret, so I hope you guys are absolutely ready for this. What I do love is at the minute I go to the next screen, people start to understand that this is actually not a secret at all, because, you know, if I had $1 for every time someone did ask me that question, you know, the questions I most commonly get asked, you know, what's the secret? How did you do this so fast? How did you find so many people? I mean, in my organisation, I've enrolled personally 65 people now in 2 years, and that has grown very organically to over 40 countries around the world, and now includes in excess of 10,000 people. So I didn't actually go out and find 10,000 people all by myself. I think that I couldn't even do that in a lifetime. But, you know, through using this system, through tapping people into a system that works, and through consistent efforts as a group, we have been able to grow that network in 2 years. So, you know, I love that I'm able to show you this now on this live webinar. So 5 simple steps. That's the secret. That's the system that I've been using and been duplicating downline since, you know, the day I started in Jeunesse. Very simple. Duplicate this over and over again. You know, it absolutely, firstly, will always start with you. This is your business, guys. So as I always say, don't blame anyone else. It's not upline's fault. It's not crossline, it's not downline. In this business, it's all about your efforts and how you lead by example. So it starts with you, it leads to we, because of course as soon as you find the very first business partner, you know, that says, I want to do this with you, you know, you become a we, you become a team. It will create traction in your business. It will help you build mass momentum over time. So remember, you do need to put a realistic time frame in place, but it will absolutely turn your business into overdrive, you know, help you take advantage of the incredible leverage that we have in our compensation plan, and of course, you know, lead to incredible residual income, which is what everybody, you know, is looking for in this business to change their life. I mean, you know, we all talk about lifestyle and what we would do if we could, you know, and where we would live if we could, and where we would travel if we could, you know, but we have a system here that can really afford us all those options, all those things that we've, you know, for most of us, you know, we've only ever dreamed of. So the number one thing we need to remember is that what we have bought into with Jeunesse is not just another business. I mean, if we wanted another business, you know, we could do that anywhere. We could buy into a franchise, we could open a shop, you know, we could open a business with an office. I mean, for 10 years of my career, I owned and operated 2 fashion boutiques, but what I never ever got when I opened the doors was a business system, and it certainly wasn't a global business system. So as I always say, anybody can buy a business, and people think you're a success. Hey, that guy, he just bought himself a new business. He must be doing really well. Well, that is the biggest fallacy in the big business world. In fact, you know, I was much more successful in every way, in terms of income, in terms of lifestyle, in the businesses I've had in the direct sales industry than I ever was in the businesses that I had in traditional world through my retail stores, because what I did not have in that setup was a system that I could follow. So, you know, what we want when we say yes to Jeunesse is so much more. You know, it's not about the skincare. It's not about, you know, the platform. It's not about, you know, how global we can take it. It's not about the people we work with. It's absolutely about all of those things and so much more. So it's not just one thing that we're buying into, it's about the entire package because, you know, for me personally, this business absolutely ticked every single box. So network marketing as a platform, you know, provides the best type of learning that you will ever get. I mean, there's more training, more ability to gain knowledge and learning in this type of business than there is in any other industry that I've been a part of. I mean, personally, through, you know, developmental growth, you know, through learning of the systems, through learning of the business, through learning even of, you know, people. You know, you learn so much more about people and their personalities and their needs, you know, through this type of business. So we offer a total training platform. It's a system that you and anybody that you partner with can follow. Absolutely duplicatable, you know, and most, you know, fantastic for us. It is absolutely rewarding. So the greatest asset you have, you know, when you say yes to Jeunesse is the global business system that you've just bought into. So the question remains, you know, why wouldn't everybody just learn and follow this process? Because, you know, success leaves clues. We've heard that saying over and over again. And, you know, it's amazing how many people don't follow, you know, those clues. They simply look at it and say, that looks awesome. You know, that person just got to diamond, but hey, I've got a great idea. You know, everybody has a great idea at some stage in this business. Even I did. I've had many, but every single time I've tried to go out on that tangent and, you know, I guess just almost recreate the wheel, I've quickly realized that I'm making my life a lot harder. And because I've had great mentorship, people that I've been able to go to, that board of directors, you know, supports the support system that I've been able to access, that we all have access to, our upline, you know, I've always had somebody that's been able to sort of bring me back in and say, Angela, you know, the system works. You don't have to go out and duplicate it, and recreate it. Just follow the system that everybody has followed. So the number one priority we have in this business to create growth is the enrollment process. This is the fundamental basis of what builds this business. Without enrollments, without product sales, without members, you know, we don't have a business. So the 5 things that we need to engage in every single day to create the enrollment process are very, very simple. So here they are. Number 1, we need to prospect daily, and there's different ways that we can do that. Number 2, we need to pique interest, and there's also different ways that we can do that. You know, we need to follow up, and when you see the slide I have on this, you'll know that there is only one way to follow up. We also need to introduce our upline, you know, bring in that third party edification, which is so, so important, you know, in this business. And number 5, you know, we need to make sure that whoever we enroll, you know, and we're talking about people that are interested in changing their life, whether it's in a nominal way through hobby income or free product, or whether it's in a very, very grand way, someone really wanting to change their life. We want to enroll all of those people into the business system because that's what they've paid money for, right? That's what that $32.95 investment, you know, actually gives them. So let's go through each of those 5 things one at a time. So the first one is prospecting, and this is where I guess, you know, people's conception of what prospecting is can be very different. And, you know, at first when I joined Jeunesse, I thought prospecting was just enrolling. So I'm just looking for people that want to join Jeunesse. Okay, and that is partially true. But the number one aspect of prospecting is to create curiosity. When you've just joined Jeunesse, this is the biggest asset you have because you are, number 1, very, very excited. You're enthusiastic. Your energy levels are at the highest that they'll probably ever be. You know, so, you know, when you do join Jeunesse and you've just said yes, you've bought your pack, you've got your products on the way, you're never going to be as excited as you are at that moment in that way, okay? As a brand new member, you know, about to embark on a journey of your lifetime, invested in a business that's going to change your life. So prospecting can start right away. because it's not about sharing lots and lots of information. When you are calling people to prospect, when you are meeting people to prospect, it is a very simple conversation which takes no more than a few minutes, a short few minutes. So I'm assuming that right now that everybody who is about to start prospecting has already done their getting started training. So guys, if you're on the call today and you haven't done that, if you're that brand new, you know, this is great training for you, but what you have to do when you get off this call is ask your enroller for that 3-step training. So, you know, make sure that you get those 15 steps to getting started as part of that training, and make sure you complete that very, very quickly, because then you can start doing this. So creating curiosity is how to open the door to thousands more people. It's how 65 people turned into 10,000 in my organization. So you need to work through your contact list, and you also need to know how to prospect on a day-to-day basis, you know, and that's through simple conversations with people that you meet. So number one, prioritize your network. That contact list that you've created in your training, make sure that you highlight all the go-getters, people that have done this type of thing before, people that are still doing this type of business and having success, people that have great influence over their network. Okay, also people that are already very successful and wealthy, because this is a group of people that, you know, often get overlooked because we assume that this is a business for people that need money, not people that have money. But the thing that we are really, I guess, promoting in this business is not money, it's lifestyle. It's time freedom, it's flexibility, and very wealthy, successful people quite often don't have enough of that because they are so, I guess, engrossed in what they're doing. They are so busy that they don't have time to really enjoy the opportunities that their wealth can give them. So start with your warm market first, and I know that there are many different you know, options to this, but I consider warm market anyone that has an open ear, anyone that is willing to listen to you, anyone that likes you, anyone that knows you've had success previously in a business. That's what I consider your warm market. It may not be your sister, your mother, your brother, your family. You know, sometimes those people can be really difficult to network with and can actually really, you know, place doubt in your mind. So if they're not the people that really like you and respect you and, you know, are willing to listen, then they're not the people to start with. So prioritize that network. Your warm market are those people, the ones that are going to say, sure, you know, I'm willing to listen to what you've got. So also commit to daily activity on this prospecting. You know, I like to talk in terms of activity rather than time, because I work with a lot of really busy people who don't have a lot of time in their day. So rather than saying you need an hour a day to do this, because that can be quite frightening for some people, even for some stay-at-home mums who are doing this business around their family, an hour a day can be hard to find. So I like to talk in terms of 3 to 5 contacts a day. Who can you call? 3 to 5 different people every day, and it can be a structured call where you call someone, or it can be a contact that you simply make because you're dropping kids off school, you're going down to the local shops, you're going to the hairdresser, because when you learn how to prospect, how to create curiosity on a day-to-day basis, when you allow this to overlap your everyday life, this is when magic happens, and this is how thousands more doors can open to your warm market. So if you commit to doing 3 to 5 of these a day, you know, that's going to steadily build your business. If you're really serious about building this, you've got to talk in terms of 5 to 10 contacts a day. But of course, you need to work within what your life allows and your own boundaries, because after all, we've said yes to Jeunesse because we know we can do this within our own time. So also, when you're prospecting, you know, it's not about facts and figures. You know, unless you're talking to a seasoned networker, an experienced networker that's been in the industry, understands the terminology of network marketing, every other person that you talk to is really going to be, you know, confused when you talk about the DSA and, you know, the Rising Star Award. And even stem cell technology can be confusing for some people. So, in terms of what to say to people, your personal story is the best asset you have, because this is a very personal business. And if you just take a moment right now to think about, why did I say yes to listening to the information, not why did I say yes to Janess? Because this is before that. This is what happens before people say yes to Janess. So before they say yes to joining Janess, they've said yes to listening to the information you're going to give them, because they like you, they trust you, and they like your personal story. So use your golf sheet to work out why you did this. If you guys are sitting on the call and thinking about right now, why did I say yes to that first person that offered the information to me? More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it was because that person struck a chord with you. You resonated with their story. If you're a mum at home with kids, that person might have said to you, I really wanted something for me. If you're in a corporate position and you've got no time freedom, and you might even love your job, a lot of people do love their job, but you still don't have the freedom to do what you want every day, that person may have said to you, I used to sit behind a desk and now I get to work, from, beside my pool every day or from home, and I don't have to drive in peak hour traffic. So whatever the reason was that you joined Janess, use it, and use it in a way that resonates with the person that you're speaking to. So why did you join? Duplicate the way you felt the time you said yes. So it's a simple conversation. It's ring that person on your list and say, hey, Mike, I've been thinking about you for some time, and I've been wanting to talk to you about a company that I've recently partnered with. It's a global company that's just launched in Australia a couple of years ago, and they are still very brand new. They have a product that the whole world wants to know about. And right now, I'm so excited about what this company can do for me and my family, because for the first time in my life, I've got a system I can use that is going to help me create extra income without me having to go back to work 9 to 5. So I haven't really told them who the company is, what they do, how to do it, even what the products are, but I've created curiosity. So that person says, hey, Mike, that sounds pretty cool. Tell me a bit more about it. So Mike says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to send you a video that I watched when I first looked at Janess, because this video has everything you need to know. It'll go for around 40 minutes. Do you have time to listen to that tonight? And this is what prospecting is. You send that video, and this is going to happen in the next slide. I'm going to talk to you about how to pique interest. So guys, I just want you to really understand that prospecting is not about, doing the whole job. It's just about creating curiosity. Share your experience. You have a story. Even if you only just joined this morning and you're listening to this call, you have a reason why you said yes to Janess, okay? You have a reason why you said yes to that person who sent you the information, who put you on the webinar. So the next step is piquing interest, and, we've just touched on that. Mike said, I've got a video I'm going to send you. I'd love you to watch it. This is what I looked at. So he's sharing information. So this is what piquing interest is. The great thing about piquing interest is that it qualifies your prospect very, very, very quickly. And this is something that you need to learn how to do, because we're doing this business because we want more time freedom. I don't do a lot of face-to-face coffee catch-ups. I've chosen to build my business in a way where I can grow it also globally, nationally. I don't have to be sitting in front of people having a coffee. I do that later down the track, but at this stage of the business, I want to get this information in front of my prospect as fast as possible. So it qualifies their interest. And by doing it this way, it means that you are respecting your time in your business, because most of us are very busy when we start with Janess. We are working other businesses, other jobs that do take up a lot of our time, and some of us have children and family we've got to look after as well. So start qualifying your prospects with, this second step, piquing interest. So you've got to learn to invite people to listen, watch. information and not try and sell them something. So it's about enticing, not convincing. If I had $1 for every time someone said to me, you know, I've got someone almost over the line, you know, I've been working on someone, oh, it's taking me a bit longer than I thought. You know, the thing that automatically goes through my head is, has this person actually watched anything yet? And if they have and you're still trying to convince them, you're actually wasting your time. By this stage, you should be asking for referrals. You know, it's that old takeaway line. If it's not for you, maybe for someone else. So learn how to entice, not convince. This is not a sales business. You know, share the information system. So you have a system that everyone can use. Okay, so our system consists of a few different ways to share the information. Live events. I love the live events. It's the big show. It's where magic happens. Live webinars. I love the webinars too because they're effortless. You can be home in your PJs drinking wine and listening to a webinar. Three-way calls is what I've really focused on in my personal business. I think that they are the best way to create duplication fast because a call, you know, can be done from anywhere in the world. And using a third party, your expert, okay, because the expert is anyone but you, and the third party is normally someone from your upline in your support system. So if you don't know who that is and you're on this call, ask the person who enrolled you. And if the person that enrolled you isn't engaged in the business in the way that you want to be engaged, look for the next best person in the upline. There are so many people that you can attach yourself to in your business. So the three-way calls will help you build a global organization because you can do them anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Then we also have what we call recorded overviews. Now, I love recorded overviews because this is how I peak interest fast and this is how I qualify my prospects fast. So if I've got someone I'm talking to right now, I can simply, through copy and pasting a link in my phone, and I can send it through Facebook Messenger, I can send it through a text, I can send it through an email, I can send them a link to a recorded webinar right away. And they can actually receive that while I'm still talking to them. There's nothing better than, you know, I'm talking to a prospect and, you know, they're saying, so tell me more. And while they're saying that, I'm sending them the message and I say, well, actually, I've just sent you a recorded overview. It goes for about 40 minutes. I'd love you to have a listen to that because that's what I listened to the first time that I looked at Janess and I absolutely loved it. So, you know, create a benchmark for the way you started in the business because what you're really building here is the duplication of this business system as well. So if you enroll people through these 5 steps, that's their experience. So you know what's going to happen? They're going to use that as well. And then the next person will, and then the next person will. And this is how you create mass duplication. We also have the opportunity to work with our very warm market. So within the first 2 weeks of saying yes to Janess, I would recommend that you create a home launch and do this with your upline. You can do them online through a virtual setup through Skype, or you can do them in the home with your enroller there. If you're confident enough, you can even run them yourself because you know what? The people in the room are the people that are coming to your house, people that know you, like you, people that are already you know, willing to listen anyway, you know, so if you're running this event, you know, you can't say anything wrong to the right person. That's as simple as it gets. So the home launch is great for peaking interest. It will, you know, qualify the people right away that are in your warm market. So if you haven't done a home launch yet, you know, I would definitely recommend you speak to your enroller about doing it because, you know, your superstar, your best business partner could be sitting in the room, you know, during that launch. So number 3. So we've created curiosity. We've piqued their interest with a recorded webinar, or they've come to an event or a 3-way call. Follow up. Okay, so how do we do this? When do we do it? We are such a polite country. You know, in the Western world, I guess that's one of the great things about us, especially here in Australia. We're so laid back. You know, everyone loves Aussies because, you know, we're so laid back. Everything's cool. Everything's tomorrow, next week, you know, whenever. But in this business, follow-up within 48 hours is crucial because after this time, you are Janess who. Remember, It's a priority for us, but it's not a priority for the people we are speaking to. By the time you get to them, if it's after 48 hours, 1,000 things have happened. So, they're no longer in the Jeunesse mindset. So you need to set up a benchmark for when you're going to call them. This is really non-negotiable. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I think it's rude. How fast can I ring them back? I'm a bit worried. I don't want to be in their face. But this is actually customer service. It builds rapport. And if you do this often enough, it's going to help create some momentum in your team, because if you're following people up every second day, that means people are joining your business every second day. So if you're following up people every week, that means people are joining your business every week. So see how the compound effect is slowed down? So if you're really smart, you'd be doing this every 24 hours, because you will be having people join your business every 24 hours. So it's about building with urgency. So how do you do this in a way that's not going to be rude and in their face? So you need to set a boundary. So when you give them that link to the recording, or when you take them to a live event, you need to make sure that they're able to get back to you today, tonight, tomorrow. Okay, that's it. They're the only options you have. So if I know you've enjoyed the event tonight. I know it's a lot to take in. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. Now, the only thing they can say to that is yes or no. Okay, so if they say yes, great. If they say no, the next best option is, okay, I'll call you after tomorrow. But never use next week. Okay, never use at the end of the week. Always today, tonight, tomorrow. Introducing upline. This is the part of the system that fails most people, because this is actually something that people really struggle with, because they feel like the upline is so busy that they don't have time to take all these calls. But in actual fact, it's the people that keep me the busiest that are having the most success. So if you're not annoying your upline enough with these three-way calls, and I say annoying in a really nice way, if you're not doing that enough, you really need to look at what you're doing in your business, because this is an absolute deal breaker. So introducing the upline will help you in every single way. It will help you enroll more people. It will help you sustain more enrollments. It will help you build the vision of what they can achieve. Because remember, if you are a jade in the business and you enroll someone, okay, their benchmark for success until they meet someone else is a jade in the business. I'm not being condescending to anybody at all, because I'm an emerald in the business. But you know what I do every single time I enroll someone, and every single time I find someone in my network that really excites me, I introduce them to a diamond or a double diamond. So don't take it personally. This is not about us being inadequate in terms of being able to do the whole system. This is what works in network marketing. This is a psychology. It's a mindset. And I did struggle myself with this at first, because I've come from a corporate world, and I also came from a direct sales party plan business where you did everything by yourself. I'd never, get any of my enrollments on a call with someone in my upline. Like, that just didn't happen. So in this business, this is a learnt behavior. Okay, learnt behaviors like this are only going to be an asset to you. Okay, it doesn't come naturally to everyone. This will also help promote a global support system. So it doesn't matter where you enroll people in the world, you can do this. You can do it through Skype, you can do it through Facebook Messenger. Now has a really great app that you can call people, and it's for free. You can do it through Viber, or simply buy some Skype Premium. It's so cheap to do it. So wherever you're introducing your network and wherever you're introducing people that are interested in building, changing their life, you need to do the introduction call. So, it will help promote the success pathway, because you started the story, remember? You started it when you prospected, when you created that curiosity. But the expert is going to help build on that story. He's going to make, or she's going to make the story bigger and better than ever. Okay, so the story starts off as a little sitcom on TV, like a little series, and then by the time it gets to this stage, it ends up being a blockbuster Hollywood movie that's about to win an Academy Award. That's the best way I can explain it. So they get more excited, and you get to learn. So when you do a three-way, make sure you know how to set it up. You know, talk to your enroller, make sure you know what to say, how to do the introduction, and then the best thing you can do is mute yourself and just listen. Now, I believe in multitasking. What I do, because I'm really busy, we're all really busy, when I do a three-way and I've got one of the guys on a call, Steve, Craig, Aaron, Lyndon, whoever it is in my upline, I mute myself after I've done the intro, I put my phone in my back pocket, I've got my headset on, and I do everything else I've got to do, but I'm also listening to the way that they speak to the prospect, to the enrollment, and I learn. I learn how they say it, I learn why they say it, you know, and I pick up some really great things to use in my business when I do my three-way calls. So everyone's happy on this call. You know, the prospect's getting all their questions answered. The story's getting bigger than ever. And they're also thinking, how easy is this? I don't even have to know everything. All I have to do is get people interested, show them a bit of information, and then I just ring this guy or this person and they do the rest for me. You know, this is a very, very simple system. So when do you do a three-way call? You know, this is the question that always comes up. In terms of people, we have red apples and green apples, and if you've done the Getting Started training, some of it you will know what I'm talking about. So red hot, ready to go. A red hot enrollment is someone that is enrolling on an $1,800 12-month jumbo ambassador pack. That is the best pack that they can get on. They're qualified for 12 months. That's a red hot enrollment. If they're not enrolling on that pack, don't let the enrollment happen until you put them on a three-way call. And make sure that the expert knows that they're not sure which pack to go on, okay? And make sure that, you know, they're aware of that because they can help that person, you know, just make an informed decision. Because, you know, when it comes to the packs, it's just about making an informed decision. It's not about making people spend more money than they can afford. You know, when they do understand that for that amount of investment, they get so much more value and it opens up the comp plan, you know, I'm sure, you know, if they can afford it, that they will go that way. Now, a green apple. Questions? Not ready to sign up? Get them on a three-way call definitely right away. So after they've listened to the information. So, you know, before or after purely depends on what are they ready to do. If they're ready to go on a 12-month ambassador, sign them up and then get them on a three-way. If they're not ready for that, then get them on a three-way before they enroll. Okay, so it's very simple because the three-way will help answer a lot of questions. It will put a lot of their, you know, questions to bed. You know, they'll get it answered by an expert. They'll also get to hear the expert's story. It will help build the vision, and everyone is happy. Everyone gets something out of this call. So your upline is more than happy to do these calls with you because this is what helps build their organization as well. And the last thing we need to do, once you've done all of those steps, the next step is to make sure when you do that enrollment, it's not about, you know, a fist pump. Yes, I've got a business partner. Yep, they've signed up on the biggest pack. No, it does not stop there. You need to make sure that these guys get enrolled into the system. Okay, it's a bit like, you know, teaching someone to drive, okay, versus when you learnt how to drive. Okay, so now we're teaching people. So you were learning when you started, but now that learnt behavior now becomes behavior you teach. So it's really important that you show people, you know, the tools that we have. You know, it's non-negotiable. Everyone must have access to the Getting Started training. It's like a tradie without his toolbox. Okay, it doesn't matter how big the pack is that they invested in. If they don't have the right tools, they're never going to succeed in this business. It's non-negotiable. So make sure, number one, that after they've done the enrollment, that you introduce them to the Getting Started training and that they have access to all the tools that you had when you joined Jeunesse. Make sure that they know where all the events are. So make sure they've liked Jeunesse Global South Pacific, make sure they know where the events calendar is, they've got the link to that. Make sure that they have access to all those recorded webinars that you have access to. Make sure you show them how to save it on their notes in their iPhone, their smartphone, so that easy access. Because I really believe in having templates ready to go at any time, because it doesn't matter where I am, I can copy, paste and send at a, in a second. So make sure that everyone has access to all those tools. The enrollment system as a whole, it teaches everybody. It will duplicate only growth activities, because unfortunately people that join these type of companies tend to focus on activities that make them feel like they're in business, but they're actually not doing activities that are going to help them grow the business. So surfing Facebook, making friends, doing a business page, doing some posters, that's all really great and it makes you feel really good. But ultimately at the end of every session that you spend on your business, so after every hour, think about what you've just done and ask yourself, well, what did that do for my business? How did it grow my business? The only growth we're looking for in your business is more enrollments, more enrollments, more enrollments. More people at meetings, more people at meetings. This is what you're focusing on. These activities work globally. This system works globally. So that's how you can get into multiple countries. It creates traction for the whole team and it creates mass momentum for the whole team. But one thing it does really well is it will qualify leaders quickly for you. So you'll start to see, people just popping up at those meetings. They come to the surface. The ones that are, really serious about building the business, this system helps qualify them. Because they'll be the ones at all the meetings. They'll be ones at all the training, asking all the questions, asking for three-ways. That is the number one sign that someone is serious. You get a new person, put you on a three-way. They mean business and that they've been enrolled the right way through the right system because they're already engaging in three-way calls. This will help your team rank advance faster, basically put your business into overdrive and, on autopilot. It really has, for me, been the number one aspect as to why my personal organization has gone from 0 to 10,000 in 2 years. I think I saw Lyndon on Facebook the other day with a post saying he was on 100,000. And I just went, well, I've got some way to go yet. How exciting is that? If I've managed to get to 10,000, I can get to 100,000. If Lyndon's got to 100,000, he can manage to get to 1 million. And I still remember, right today, how I felt the first time I got to 100 people in my organization. Because, that was a really incredible benchmark, because in my previous business, in the 4 years I'd been there, I'd enrolled over 200 people into that business. But because the business system wasn't like this, it wasn't so easily duplicatable, and it wasn't so simple, I'd only ever had 100 people in my network ever at the one time. But in this business, I've enrolled 65, so I've enrolled, less than a third, and I've got 10,000 people in that organization. So that's exciting. Anybody can do this. You get mass groups of people working this system and your entire team will thrive. So guys, it is very, very simple, and this is all in our Getting Started training. And the reason that I did a training purely focused on these 5 steps is because I think after we do those 15 steps, we tend to, go away from that, and then everything else gets in the way, and you get excited about other parts of your business, and you get excited with the first few people you've enrolled. My biggest message to you right now is never, ever, ever, ever stop doing these 5 steps. Never, ever, ever stop prospecting, because that is the fundamental basis of the business that you are a part of. This is the reason this works. So, do you want to take the stairs, or do you want to go on the elevator or the escalator? How do you want to get there? You want to get to the top floor. You're at the bottom of a 50-story building. Do you want to take the stairs, guys, or do you want to go in the lift, or do you want to take the escalator? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. You want to go the slow way, then totally ignore the 5 steps. Do it your way. leave out one of the 5 steps. Do 4 out of 5. That's good enough. But I guarantee you will not be on that automated system. You will not see the organic growth happen. You know, it's very simple. Just stick to the agenda, stick to the system that works. Even Lyndon Biernoff, Double Diamond, does this. Okay, he does 3-way calls with his upline. So don't ever think that one of these things can be left out and you're still doing okay. I'm doing 3 out of 5, that's not bad. It's not good enough. You know, if you want the whole cake, you've got to do it with all the ingredients. You know, it's not going to taste any good. So prospect, peak interest, follow up, introduce to your upline and enroll into the system, the basic system. You know, I don't want to walk anymore, I want to run. You know, I want to work faster, I don't want to work harder. So the more people I enroll and the more people I help learn this system means the more people will enter my organization faster. So talk to more people more often. You know, this is what's going to help create your mass duplication. How fast do you want to reach director level, guys? You know, it's as simple as that. You know, these 5 steps have really, you know, changed my business in every single way, and the people that are using it, you know, are having the most success in their business. So I thank you very much for listening, and I really, you know, have enjoyed sharing this at all the power sessions over February, but mostly I've enjoyed that now I've